What the hell is going on between my husband and that bitch? Maya's patience was at its lowest ebb and she was ready to burst. Sanjay knew that she was serious. Look, Maya. There is nothing going on between the two of them. Just a little bit of healthy flirting, I'd say. Flirting? Healthy flirting? Really, Sanjay? She rolled her eyes in disgust. That's what you men call it? There is nothing healthy about flirting, Sanjay, not for a married man. Healthy flirting is a term introduced by perverted men who want to lend legitimacy to their extramarital dalliances. Flirting invariably has a sexual connotation to it. She got up from her seat and walked around the room gesticulating and muttering something to herself. Suddenly she stopped, turned back, looked at Sanjay and asked, "Did my husband sleep with her? You are his friend. Did he ever tell you anything about it?" "No. He did not," Sanjay replied. He knew this situation was slowly getting out of hand. What he said to Maya was only partly true. Both Vikram and Amy were actually getting closer to what Maya had believed. He himself was not sure if these two had reached that stage of being bed partners. He had seen the growing intimacy between them. It was more than a couple of months now after Amy had applied for the job of an assistant to Vikram in his office. He was right in the middle of the second draft of his lover's dilemma. This was his most ambitious book. Random House had paid him a princely sum as advance against royalties. Vikram needed a copy editor in the writing business to assist him in the sorting of his ideas. He was getting bogged down in the details of his characters. He wanted a woman to take over the dictation and typing as well. He remembered their first meeting in the office. Both he and Vikram were startled to interview their first applicant. "Good evening. I am Amy. I called you this morning," she had said as she tiptoed in with that quiet confidence that day. The sexy roll of her hips was not lost on them. Sanjay had seen that look of sudden interest and desire in Vikram's eyes as he extended his hand to shake hers. And he was not really surprised though. He too was besotted with Amy's initial appearance. She had a tall graceful poise and that intense keen look as she continued to enter into the room to take her seat in that overstuffed leather chair that Vikram had cleverly placed in front of his oak table. People generally used to uncoil themselves with ease on this chair when they came to discuss business with him. And Vikram Zuri was no small writer. Two of his last books were bestsellers in two noted bestsellers lists last year. He was tops and it showed in his behavior. Sanjay was rudely interrupted in his thoughts when he heard Maya say, "I guess this is the end for Vikram and me," as she picked up her purse and had one final look at her watch. They were seated in the special lounge of the Delhi airport. Vikram was late once again to see her off at the airport. It was time for the security check for her flight to Chennai. She was the only daughter of one of the most families in South India. They were number one in the confectionery business in India for decades. And she was not going to take kindly to her husband's misadventures with any woman for sure. "Listen, Sanjay," she whispered. "Keep me informed about what is going on. I'll kill that bitch if she is really sleeping with my husband. I should be back in Delhi in a week." "Look, Maya. I think you are getting carried away with this jealousy." "I hope you are right," Maya replied and hurried away. Sanjay was worried by Maya's outburst. He watched her till the time she had vanished inside for the security check. He decided to sit a while in the visitors' lounge and see if Vikram arrived to see his wife off. Where was he? He was not even answering his cell phone, as he heard the announcer saying, "Jet Airways announces the departure of its Flight 836 to Chennai." He did not pay much attention to a man who came and sat next to him. "Must be pretty hard on you," he heard the man say to him. Sanjay looked at this horrible man. He wore tight black trousers and a tight black shirt tucked neatly inside. A strong bushy moustache occupied most of his pockmarked face. "Listen. I am Cruz. They call me the Fixer," the man said, extending his hand for a shake. One look at him convinced Sanjay that this man was poison. He pretended confidence when he said, "Who are you? What do you want?" "Relax. I know all about your friend Vikram and this girl Amy. You are trying to save his marriage, aren't you? I can help you." By now Sanjay was getting really riled up. "Who do you think you are?" he said. He was actually frightened by this man. He seemed to be sure and slippery as a rattlesnake. "You have nothing to worry about. I am a private detective. You see, your friend Vikram and Amy are now at—" "What do you want, you punk?" Sanjay demanded. The man gave him a smile that sent a chill up his spine. Sanjay was sure it was blackmail now. "How much, you rascal?" he said. The man got up with a smile. He removed a card from his wallet and handed it to Sanjay. "Call me on this number. The address is mentioned." With a wave of his hand, he walked towards the exit gate on the right. Later that night, as he lay in his bed, Sanjay was really rattled. He and Vikram were buddies since years. There was still no sign of him. He was not picking his calls. In a flourish, Sanjay tried Amy's number only to find there was no answer there as well. And then he tried recollecting the man at the airport. He was disgusting. It was clear he knew something about Vikram and Amy. Something he could sell for money, he was sure. It was long past midnight when he drifted off to sleep. What happens next? See in part 2 of the video.